Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the ACAR Frey Trucking Series. Race number 1 of round 1 in the playoffs brings you to Nashville Super Speedway. Glad to have you all here this evening. Gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a very fun race. I've seen a lot of truck racing here in the past, and as always, it puts on one heck of a show. But with that being said, qualifying is currently underway, and tonight's broadcast is brought to you by, or the Nashville Super Speedway race is brought to you by the wonderful, and I mean wonderful people trying to get their graphic all set up. Just give me one moment, everybody. We will get that graphic up and running. But yeah, qualifying currently underway. You see the 10 of Chris Sawyer now hitting the racetrack. Yeah, really slow. Kind of surprised to see oh, and he's just gonna stop on the racetrack. Right now your pole sitter is currently James Shainwolf, and it looks like he just had to reset Chris Sawyer in that number 10. Yeah. Tonight's race is brought to you by Regeneration Sports Network. It is the Regeneration Sports Network 115 from Nashville Super Speedway. Gonna get their graphic up in just a moment. Put that in the little sponsor banner. Yeah, once qualifying is over and done with, you can see the pylon on the tower that all our playoff drivers are marked with a red banner. Easy enough. That's how you figure out who's going to be in the playoffs or not. And I'll bring up those points in just a second. And Nate, I have no clue why your number's yellow. But there's the point standings as we come into the playoffs tonight. Rob, thanks for hitting that like button. Adam Capps, top of the leaderboard. Paul Irvin in second. James Shainwolf shares that second position with Paul Irvin. In that fourth spot, you have Brett Murphy. And running out that top 5, Derek Stanley. Notable driver not here tonight is the 32 of Ryan Frey. He's actually working. It's holiday season, and FedEx says, you're working, pal. See the 48 of Paul Irvin. His first lap, good for 10th. Ooh, really close to the wall on exit of 2. Looks like a pretty good 3 and 4, and he's going to drive it all the way down to the apron to cross the start-finish line. And let's see where that 48 goes. P2 right behind James Shainwolf. Now, somebody who I'm really surprised is making a lap. It's the 71 of TJ Barnier. Gary, I'm pretty good. Just trying to get back in the swing of things. Having the week off last week kind of messed me up just a little bit. PJ's the only car on the racetrack right now, so we're just going to stick with him as we are just about a minute and a half away from the race. But how's everybody doing? Got to give a huge shout out to our sponsors in the description. AC Cages, if you're in the Indianapolis area and you need a cage for your AC, keep animals and such out. Check them down in the description. The All-Star Sports Report podcast every Friday night. Great show over the week of what happens in sports. I know there's going to be a lot of college football talk. And that is it. 30 seconds left. And we will be going green momentarily. We'll get you that starting lineup in just a moment. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And welcome back, everybody. Let's run down that starting lineup for tonight's Regeneration Sports Network 115. On the pole, the driver of the number 1, James Shane Wolf. Paul Irvin, outside pole. In row 2, you have Adam Capps and Michael Steele. Row 3, Derek Stanley, Brett Murphy. Row 4, you have Lucas Strayer and Nate Orlowski. In row 5, rounding out the top 10, Joe Darnell and Matt Cochran. In row 6, Chris Sawyer and Mitchell Muma. And then shotgun on the field, you have TJ Barnier and Alan Michael Bennett in row number 7. And I'm pretty sure that that 71, I don't think he's hitting the racetrack. Yeah, Gary, you are right. Shane Wolf really likes that front row. And a lot of times it works out pretty well for him. But taking a look at our top 3 starters, all Toyotas, then 4 through 6 are Chevys, then the Ford of Orlowski, Strayer in a Toyota, Cochran in a Toyota, Darnell in a Chevy, Mitchell Muma in a Toyota, and the rest are Chevys. We'll be going green this time by... And boy, this is going to be fun. I love this racetrack. This racetrack, I think, is really, really fun. And here we go. There goes the iRacing official pace truck. And we are green here at Nashville Super Speedway to start the ACAR Frey Trucking Series playoffs. Battle early on is for that second position. Shane Wolf gets away and gets away clean. But a little bit further back, they are 3 wide. See the 41 of newcomer Strayer underneath the 64 of Brett Murphy. Flying down into turn number 3. First lap will go to James Shane Wolf. And we are going to stay right here because this battle for... Oh, Paul Irvin. Did he drop due to packet loss? Uh-oh. Hopefully he bounces back. So backing up back to this 4th position, battle for 4th. You see the 64 of Brett Murphy, the 41 of Lucas Strayer. This is Lucas's first race here at the ACAR Frey Trucking Series, and so far, just a couple laps in, doing a really good job holding on to that top 5 position. Paul Irvin has not come back yet. So I'm thinking he might have dropped due to packet loss as Shane Wolf puts another fastest lap on the board, and that's with Adam Capps right behind him. Little bit further back, you have the 69 and Nate Orlowski qualifying in at that 8th position. He's up to 7th in that very, very bright Surge number 69 Ford F-150. As for the most part, we are single filed out. You see the 12 of Joe Darnell right behind him. But for the most part, there goes the pass. Michael Steele cutting to the inside of Lucas Strayer as they go into turn number 1. Very good run on the outside for the 41. Heading down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Looks like as we get a couple laps under the books on tires, that middle lane is going to be good to cut off runs, because I really thought the 5 had a really good run into turn number 1. But Strayer just able to power down on the outside, as that's going to bring Nate Orlowski back into it as well. As you guys can see, the drivers with the red banners, those are your playoff drivers. Our first non-playoff driver is that 41 of Strayer. Then you have Orlowski in 7th, Sawyer in 10th, and Barnier in 13th, which TJ is actually racing and race controlling at the exact same time. Joe Darnell in the 12, all over the back bumper of Nate Orlowski, trying to get that 69 further up on the racing order. But for the most part, Shane Wolf isn't getting away from anybody. You know, he's still got Capps right behind him. You know, you have about a car length gap between the two of them, but that's about it. And you can really see how well the two gets into the turns, but Shane Wolf is able from center on to just power off. That gap for the lead is just over 2/10 as they get into turn number 1. You're watching All-Star 15 TV broadcast of the Regeneration Sports Network 115 from Nashville Superspeedway. It is the first race of the ACAR Frey Trucking Series playoffs, and it's pretty cool on how they have their schedule laid out. Next week we go to Kentucky, then Talladega, then we make a cut, then Las Vegas, Richmond, then Rockingham, then we make the final cut, and then when we take what we have to Homestead to finish the season. So it's a pretty cool setup for the rest of the season, but tonight we're going to see who's going to progress a little bit further in the playoffs points-wise, because it is not win and you're in. It's kind of a mixture of the new setup with the old setup from the Winston Cup days. Paul Irvin back out on the racetrack. You could see that he is 9 laps down. Now, he's a very fast race car driver, don't get me wrong. But if we stay green for a good portion of this 115 lap race, he's going to have a lot of trouble getting back to that lead lap. He's going to need plenty of cautions to help in that. But he can also help himself out, because he's currently, as he just drives by the 41, who's currently in that 5th position. And if he can slowly chip away and be faster than everybody else, which right now he's about 2.5 tenths faster than Shane Wolf. He can probably go 8 down, and if we get a caution that can possibly put him 7 down. I know Winston Cup never had playoffs, but I'm talking about their point systems. Where it's not win and you're in. It's the accumulation of points. But Shane Wolf still trying to keep Adam Capps behind them. Or behind him. Then you have a little bit of a gap. Just about 7 tenths to Derek Stanley. Brett Murphy, as you see Paul Irvin in the 48 go by him, is sitting in 4th. And Lucas Strayer in that 5th spot. If this is your first time watching the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, follow, do all that wonderful stuff that really helps out the channel. We have ACAR tonight, XMS Truck tomorrow night, and then XMS Xfinity on Wednesday. The next 2 days we do go to Talladega, the last race in the regular season for both the Rick Motec Xfinity and Truck Series. That's going to be a fun one. And then they start their playoffs next week. But we are side by side for the lead, putting lap 19 on the board. And Paul Irvin is very much looking to get around him. There he goes, right around the outside. Gonna try to make it stick. And they're going to stay 3 wide all the way into turn number 1. All 3 teammates. And that's going to put the 48, now 8 laps down. Barnier, I think, is off the racetrack. He's sitting on the grass. That's... Dude, you can't park there. I honestly have no clue what TJ's doing, just sitting there. Honestly, for what I'm thinking, he sees that Paul is back out on the racetrack, and he's trying to make it so he's not the one that gets the lucky dog if there were a caution to come out. But I think that's easily rectified by just sending him the wave around instead of DJ taking it. And then just clearing black flags, which should be fun to do being in the car. Here's your battle still for the lead. A little bit further back, you still see newcomer Lucas Strayer in that 5th position. He is plus 2 spots from 7th to 5th. Should be coming to pit stops in the next 10 to 15 laps or so. That's going to throw some game-changing strategies out there. We know Shane Wolf is really good at saving tires. Adam Capps as well. But for the most part, that too has been on fire as of late. Really, really coming alive as we hit the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong. He's the points leader coming into the playoffs, but earlier in the season and through the middle part of the season, some of those races were very how did he get there kind of races where he was nowhere near the front, and then at the end of the race, poof, he's top 3 and we're interviewing Adam Capps. But those are your points coming into tonight's race. Those are just your playoff drivers. Strayer now getting to the back of the 64 of Brett Murphy. See how the 41 just sends it into the turn, and the 64 just able to have a really good run off, getting a little bit of separation on exit. As we see the lead is side by side again. Honestly, now that we're 27 laps into tonight's race, you could really see how that middle lane is being used to protect positions. But if I was Adam Capps, and I just play a crew chief every now and then, I'm not actually a crew chief, I would see where I'm pitting and pit a lap or two sooner. Because 28 laps in, you're about a second and a half slower than where you were running when the race started. As that battle continues to heat up, here comes the 5 of Michael Steele. Michael Steele's trying to get back some of those positions he lost earlier in the race. He's only -2, so 4th to 6th. Mitchell Muma is the first truck to hit pit road. And immediately goes a lap down. There it is. Shane Wolf now has the 2 to his outside. Caps has the position to get the nice run off the turn. Especially out of 2 as they're side by side as they cross the line. I think Caps gets it that lap. New leader, the number 2, Adam Caps. Now watch the exit here. Chris Sawyer and Brett Murphy now hitting pit road. Here's another thing. If I'm Shane Wolf, I might pit now. Looks like a difficult pit road to get onto as they are still side by side. Crossing the line last time by 31-37 for Caps. And just out of curiosity, no, they're still faster than Derek Stanley in third. Just about 0.2 slower is the 77. Even though they were side by side, they were still lapping the field just a little bit faster. Derek Stanley now hitting pit road along with Michael Steele. These are all scheduled pit stops. Here comes the 2. Adam Caps hitting pit road. Long as he doesn't speed, he's gonna sit nice and pretty, but I would not be surprised if Shane Wolf hits pit road this time. Orlowski did move into that second position, and Joe Darnell into that third position as we are through pit stops. We're getting through pit stops. And it looks like we're seeing Shane Wolf hitting pit road. Joe Darnell is going to take the point and lead a lap here. Adam Caps leaving pit road. And there goes the 12 of Joe Darnell. When does this 12 come down? There he goes, off the track, onto pit road. That's going to finish the cycle. Now we're just waiting to see where everybody cycles through. Because there's James Shane Wolf coming off of pit road. But there goes Adam Caps. Not a huge gap, but right now we're sitting at 2 seconds between Shane Wolf and Adam Caps, and that has Derek Stanley and Brett Murphy in between. Like I said, there is the 12 of Joe Darnell. He's going to have the freshest tires out of everybody, but he's going to drop all the way back to probably about 8th or 9th place. Probably about 8th place. 9th place. Because there's the 69 of Nate Orlowski. But Adam Caps currently your race leader. 37 laps into tonight's race. You're watching the All-Star 15 TV broadcast of the ACAR Frey Trucking Series Regeneration. I think it's News Network. I apologize, Rob. Yeah, Sports Network, sorry. Regeneration Sports Network. I will get their links in the chat for everybody. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back, everybody, just about halfway through tonight's race. Joining me up in the broadcast booth, the co-owner of the ACAR Frey Trucking Series. It's TJ Barnier. After running some laps, I hear the truck is very, very tight.
Tight like a tiger, bud. Oh my god. That thing it's unbearably tight.
But what kind of stuff are you learning? Because it looks like, for the most part, everybody's doing one hell of a job getting around this racetrack. Is there way too much grip or something? Because nobody's getting loose.
I mean, honestly, I've never really raced here, so I don't even know really what the line is. It feels like a larger Iowa to me, where you kind of, can run that middle, high, or bottom, but you got to be very careful on the exit not to get into the wall. I did one time, not even, just out of the blue, I was like, oh, wow, I got that tight. And, I mean, it definitely never felt loose. I wish it had. It might have been, a little bit better to drive. sucks to see Paul. Paul dropped out right there early on. I had to pull over. I dropped my mouse, and I think I'm gonna put my mouse on a leash. So the next time I drop it, I can just grab the leash and pull it back. That thing bounced into oblivion. I had to pull into the grass.
Yeah, we're watching the race as it's going right now. Newcomer Lucas Strayer, currently in that 6th spot, trying to get towards Michael Steele, as Michael Steele's trying to bounce back to that 4th position to where he started. The race is, knock on wood, been very, very calm for a playoff race. We're only missing one playoff driver due to Ryan having to work. But for the most part, you have your heavy hitters up front: Caps, Shane Wolf, Stanley, Murphy, and Steele, your top 5. Somebody who you mentioned recently is Paul Irvin with that internet issue. Dropped early on in the race, and if we don't see cautions, he's gonna hurt tonight.
I mean, he's hurting right now anyway, because he's even, twisted now is 2 behind the leaders as well. So he's gonna need like 11 cautions to find himself back in the lead lap.
Yeah,
or, other chaos to collect other drivers to put them laps down.
As we've had one retirement, and that's the number 98 Mitchell Muma.
Did he hit the fence? What happened with him?
I don't know. Nothing popped up. The last incident I had was you going to pit road.
Yeah, I realized Adam Capps caught me. Kind of got me. I mean, I saw he was coming, but he caught me way quicker than I was expecting. I was gonna just get down on the bottom and get out of his way, but he caught me, and so I stayed up top and just tried to be not in his way and let him get whatever groove and line he wanted. Then when the other guys got there, I got out of the way. I had to pit anyway, so. But these guys look fast. I mean, like I said, I didn't turn any practice. I never even intended to get behind the wheel tonight, but I got a new chair, and I wanted to know if I could for the future, because we do still have some fun races coming.
Yeah, we do. I did break down the races we had coming up next and how the playoff system is working. But huge shout out to tonight's race sponsor, Regeneration Sports Network. Rob, thank you for coming on board and sponsoring tonight's race. I'm on their Facebook page right now, and they cover everything: basketball, hockey, football. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some baseball in the spring. Go check them out. Their links are in the chat room, and I will add them to the description when the race processes, probably tomorrow afternoon at some point. But yeah, multiple posts every day, and it looks like a very fun page to get your sports news, because it's not just sports news. They use some memes to help tell what's going on as well, and I'm very much enjoying what I'm seeing on the page.
I can only imagine. Especially after the weekend we had with all the rivalry games and fisticuffs and things of that nature.
Yeah,
the race, to me, I mean, just looking at the margins, this is what we've seen in these longer run, green flag run races. They get, spread out pretty good, and it might come down to where these guys have to pit here on the final pit stop.
And what kind of strategy do we see with that final pit stop?
Right, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't even know when I pitted. Granted, I was laps down, so I don't even really know what the strategy is as far as laps and all that.
Chris Sawyer is going to spin on the apron, and he's going to keep it to the inside grass. That's him just coming off pit road on cold tires, and now he is one of the drivers a lap down as well.
That might be the only time. Oh, he's loose.
Yeah, he's
He's
still
loose
fighting
again.
it. Gonna have to give it a couple laps.
Yeah, that's probably the only time you'll see somebody loose all night. Full tires. Maybe I don't want to go back out there and see what I can do on freshies. Because that was my plan. I came in, got some damage repaired, or what they could repair, and had got tires put on. I just hadn't gone back out yet. 'Cause I didn't feel like it.
Looks like Chris Sawyer has kind of figured it out after getting a couple laps. But there's Adam Capps in the number 2. Has about a 2.5 second lead over James Shanewolf as he's going to get by Matt Cochran now. That 2 is on rails. It's kind of like a slot car going around Nashville
How far
Super
did he
Speedway.
go? Did he go on his first run, AJ? I think you have that data.
He went to lap 33. Shane Wolf went to 34. Derek Stanley went to 32. Brett Murphy went to 30. And then rounding out the top 5 with Michael Steele, he went to 32.
So we oh, the 10 in the wall. We should see them possibly 2 more times before the finish.
Yeah, and here comes our first taker this time around, the 41 of Lucas Strayer.
Might be a little early.
Yeah, about 5 to 6 laps early for Lucas.
Granted, I mean, it's going to put you about 90, and then, you know, you don't have to make it to 120, so maybe trying to gain a little tire track position. That might not be a bad call.
Just a little bit, and I know we've gone green for more than half the races. Now, Shane Wolf is going to undercut Adam Capps. We saw Adam Capps do that on the first run. Now it's Shane Wolf's turn to see if that's going to help. It helped about 5 seconds, the difference. Just 1 lap.
And I think Paul is trying to do the unlapping the hard way.
He's done it a couple times, but when everything cycled out, he ended up right where he was. Right where he was beforehand. But I know with how well ACAR has been going the last couple races, where we've had maybe 1 or 2 cautions, maybe. I know Indianapolis, I think, was our last race, and it was caution free. Got to give a huge shout out to the number 2, just in case we don't get a caution. He is our caution flag sponsor, Adam Capps with the Elite Entertainment LLC. His link is down in the description. Go check them out. As he just hit pit road, Derek Stanley's going to take over as the race leader. Brett Murphy 2.5 seconds back in second, and then Michael Steele 3 seconds back in third.
Maybe some guys looking towards points here, trying to get a lap led through this cycle of pit stops. Doesn't take much to get just enough ahead to not be cut out as we advance rounds.
No, and somebody who's going to be very much behind the 8 ball, and it sucks that he's got to work, is Ryan Frey, not here tonight, most likely not here next week. He'll be back for Talladega with basically
Hopefully
no shot, unfortunately.
Yeah, if it was a win and you're in situation, I'd say he was, you know, he had hope, but you know, we don't run that format here, so that doesn't mean to say he wouldn't, you know, want to still bring home the trophy.
It's Talladega. Of course Ryan's going to want the trophy, as Derek Stanley just hits pit road. Brett Murphy comes in. Michael Steele almost passes Brett Murphy on entry.
I can tell you Talladega is the one I've got circled, highlighted, underlined. Is if I'm going to make an appearance in the regular season, that'd be the one I'd want to do.
Well, too bad it's not the regular season. It's the playoffs.
Well, whatever. The normal season, not the All-Star event.
But your race leader, as the 69, is now hitting pit road. Orlowski led 1 lap, comes to pit road. Now Joe Darnell leading this lap. Does he come to pit road next time by?
And that's the thing. If they all lead a lap, it kind of negates it. So it's a good way to kind of play against your opponent's hand, is if you stay out to lead a lap because they all stayed out to lead a lap, then that bonus lap really doesn't matter.
And here comes the 12. Joe Darnell hitting pit road. Matt Cochran, your last truck still on the racetrack, trying to get a lap led, but there's the two of Adam Capps taking the race lead away from Matt Cochran. And here comes Shane Wolf as well.
I'm gonna say I think Matt's due for a pit stop.
Matt is very due for a pit stop, to the point where when he hits pit road, he's going a lap down.
I know the feeling.
TJ, you don't need a pit stop to go a lap down. You just go a lap down.
Not always. Let's not forget the next gen series. When I ran, I had a top 5. Had a few of them actually, if I remember right. Just could never get that top 3 to come talk with you.
As that 4 is still staying out, he's looking at 34 laps on these tires.
I mean, he could be trying some like really crazy fuel move.
Yeah, but he's going to be so behind the 8 ball already. I don't see the advantage of this.
If he could somehow cut out a whole pit stop, sure. I don't think you can cut out a whole pit stop, but hell, if he can do it, go for it.
As you see him hitting pit road, we'll check back with Matt Cochran to see where that's going to cycle out. But you see race leader Adam Capps through 3 and 4, as James Shane Wolf just about a little over a second behind, and Lucas Strayer doing a really good job his first race here at ACAR. Currently running in that 3rd spot. And don't go anywhere. When we finish this race, we'll talk to our podium finishers.
AJ, I don't know if you had mentioned it, but we did have some big announcements come out in the last couple of weeks about the series moving forward.
I didn't, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we have you signed on board for next year to continue doing what you beautifully do up here in the booth for us. The title sponsor next season will be slightly changed. It's kind of the same benefactor, but different horse behind the cart. Wrestling with Nerds. I mean, that's a very familiar channel partner for you. They'll be the title sponsor next year. We're almost ready to announce we'll have a graphic sponsor for next year. Be providing us with some beautiful graphics. I'm excited for that. Got a lot of things going. I'm looking forward to it. I want to find some more drivers. I want to get that field back to 20. That was a big, nice number to me. We lost a good amount of drivers for the reasons that, if you've been paying attention, but we'll get the field back up. And if the racing stays like this, the drivers will find us.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go possibly another race where it's caution free, and throughout the field there's been plenty of battles, as Adam Capps currently still pulling away from Shane Wolf. And a little bit further back, you got Nate Orlowski and the 5 of Michael Steele. They're our closest battle on the racetrack. Just about a couple truck lengths separating those two. But that gap from, let's just say 5th, Brett Murphy, to Adam Capps is over 15 seconds. Just five places behind our race leader is a half a lap down. That too, like I said before, is like a slot car right now. Just putting qualifying lap after qualifying lap after qualifying lap. And I don't know if that's going to hurt him later in this race, because he's 0.3 faster than Shane Wolf last time by. That's great, but he's burning his tires up just a little bit more than the 1.
What lap did he pit?
62 with Shane Wolf on 60.
audio cue I just got. Sounded like somebody smacked a wall.
No,
Sit
somebody probably
laps.
did. I think the 10 did.
That would be why I caught a weird audio cue. I mean, you figure lap 60. You were saying about, you know, 33 to 35. I mean, you're talking, if you count it backward, 115. You know, you're looking at 85 would be 30 laps, so maybe a chance here to short pit on one of these cycles. Like really short pit. Maybe Adam's thinking about that, knowing that if he goes and burns them off here, putting down hot laps, that he doesn't have to go as far to get fresh tires on the backside.
And we said we would let you guys know about Matt Cochran, where he ended up. He's 1 lap down in 10th. And he stayed out for an extra 6 laps.
Oop, yep, 10 in the wall, for sure. I saw it there. I tell you, I like brushed the wall in the most ginger fashion, and right over the thing it comes, wheel damage. I'm like, really? I barely touched the thing.
But next week, we go to Kentucky. Kentucky is going to be a very fun race. A nice 1.5 miles. It's a very interesting 1.5 miles. It looks like we're not going to Legacy Kentucky. We're going to New Kentucky, so the broken one.
Bring your fried chicken, boss.
What happens if you don't eat fried chicken unless they're nuggies?
Ooh, fried chicken nuggies? That sounds yummy.
Just chicken nuggets, as there is Orlowski looking for 6th. Gets by Michael Steele.
I mean, I guess you could bring grilled chicken too. They tried that for a hot minute. It didn't really work out for them. No, you're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
Is that a Waterboy reference?
While also staying true to the theme of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, that was scary. Holy cow. Twisted blinked out for a second right behind the two Adam Caps. And right now, Twisted is exactly what he has in right along his banner on above his windshield.
Stupid.
Warning.
Warning. Driver.
Honestly, I would have that backwards so the person in front of you can read it in their mirror.
That's funny.
It's like what they do with the ambulance.
Right. If you could read this, pull over.
Speaking of funny things like that, I saw somebody with a Jeep sticker, like a sticker on their Jeep that said no problem, and then upside down it says problem. So I'm guessing if the Jeep is upside down, it'll say problem.
I've seen those before where it says if you know, it has like the Jeep logo. It says if you can read this, please flip me back over.
Right? As there goes to 4, he's making ways back up through the field. You know, still a lap down, TJ. But he's trying to put himself in the best spot to get that lucky dog. And with that, you know, Matt Cochran's in that 10th spot, but Chris Sawyer a good 13 seconds ahead of him for that lucky dog spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't know if Matt's trying to not pit here. I mean, that seems kind of crazy to me. I mean, I think it was about lap 70 that he pitted.
I mean, even right now, he's slower than Adam Capps on 6-lap fresher tires. He's
Well,
almost 3/10 slower.
You would be if you were trying to save. I mean, he's got to be in like an epic fuel conserve mode. Granted, he's still passing people, so I don't know. It definitely it's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out for you.
The Ocho, nice pull. Nice pull. And everybody, if this is your first time watching, hit that like button, subscribe, follow. If you're on TikTok, keep spamming those hearts. Follow. We go live with iRacing, League Racing 3 times a week. ACAR Frey Trucking Series on Mondays. On Tuesdays, we have the XMS Ricmotech Truck Series, and Wednesdays, the XMS Ricmotech Xfinity Series. Tomorrow night and Wednesday, we are going to Talladega for the season finale races in both series. So join us same time as ACAR on Mondays. It's going to be a barn burner, and it's going to be some of these drivers' last chance to make the playoffs. It's going to be a fun one. Talladega is always a barn burner at the end of the season.
I love plate racing. Love it, love it, love it. I've ran in a plate racing league before. It was a lot of fun. Heartbreak though, usually for me. Usually I can make it to the white flag. Getting back from the white flag is a problem. Or at least in one piece.
This is nuts. Adam Capps almost 7 seconds out from Shane Wolf.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. The thing here could be is Adam might have burned the tires off so much that he has to take a full stop. Whereas if Shane will maybe only trying to take like a 2-tire stop, so that 7 seconds, racetrack gap might vanish on pit road.
Well, it very much could. But TJ, at the end of the day, with 15 laps to go, 20 laps to go, what would you rather have, 2 or 4?
Well, of course 4, but you also got to have the time. I mean, these guys were in on 60. If they're coming in on 90 or even pushing it maybe towards 95, that's only 20 laps. Not even. Yeah, no, that is 20 laps. 115 from there.
As Strayer hitting pit road. Chris Sawyer on pit road. It's starting.
Now with Sawyer on pit road, that'll help Matt if a caution were to fly. Matt should clear him. And we know Matt's going to stay out for quite a bit longer.
Yeah, Matt's
out there right now for 18 laps.
Derek Stanley, Joe Darnell also coming to pit road. When do we see our leaders hit pit road? On board with the 2 of Adam Capps. He's going to throw it back into turn number 1. Now 7.5 seconds ahead of Shane Wolf.
I mean, we've seen James all year be the guy that can maybe pull the crazy strategy and make it work. I wouldn't be shocked if that's what he's trying to do here. I mean, typically if he, realizes, okay, I'm not the fastest car, I got to try something, he'll figure out what he's got to do to try it, and it may work out. I mean, we had one. I know there was a race earlier in the year where a bunch of those guys could have made it if it weren't for a late caution.
Any other takers on pit road? Michael Steele, yes we do. As I just looked at my phone and realized what just happened to conclude Monday Night Raw, and holy cow. I will not spoil it for anybody watching.
That's good, because I don't know yet either, and I haven't even started the program.
Brett Murphy, Nate Orlowski, both on pit road and on screen right there. As there goes Adam Capps, putting more drivers a lap down. He has everybody but Shane Wolf a lap down.
Yeah. Joe just got, I think, 1 lap back. He's currently 2 down. Obviously, he's pitted.
And here comes the 2.
Here comes. How long does before the 1 follows?
How about this time?
And well, we'll get it. We'll know. We'll know if there's tire strategy, because if the 1 comes out ahead of the 2, he was playing a 2-tire game.
What's going on, Daniel Park? Wish you were here, pal.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a name I was hoping to see tonight.
There's right sides on the 2. Now left side's on the 2. Right side's on the 1. There goes the 2. Wow. And I think the 1 just took 2.
It does, and it doesn't look like it helped much.
But
as far as track position,
shaved off about 3 seconds, and that's it.
Yeah, and obviously he's not going to be able to put down the laps like Adam will on the 4.
With 21 laps to go, those were final pit stops of the evening, unless we get a caution. But we're going to say hello to some of our sponsors here at All Star 15 TV. We will be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back. 15, now 14 laps to go. Adam Caps crosses the line with a 5.5 second lead over James Shanewolf. And I have a Paul Irvin incident.
There was just smoke on the track.
Oh, he's stepping out a little too hard. Flips the outside grass. And
Something tells me my truck just blew up. I have a meatball flag.
It probably didn't, unless you shut it off. If you sit on pit road for an extended period of time and not getting repairs, it will kill your motor.
It probably did. I mean, I wasn't gonna go back out at this point anyway. Well, I would expect Matt Cochran to be headed for the pit lane here pretty quick. It just went down a lap.
Yep. And on pit road, he's going to lose another lap. The only thing that would save him right now is if a caution were to come out right now.
Well, and assuming he has the fuel to run caution laps.
He would need to do 2 caution laps after they catch the pace car.
He came in on 70, so he's certainly pushing that 35 lap.
He came on 68. I got him lap 68 pit stop.
Here he comes.
And this will be a full fuel stop. Paul Irvin, that's amazing. Spinning coming off a pit road puts the fastest lap on the board, 29:57.
This is going to be one of those ones, AJ, as far as trying to find who is your biggest mover.
Right now, it is tied between Lucas Strayer and Joe Darnell and Alan Michael Bennett. Do we just take the highest on the totem pole with the biggest mover, or do they all get it?
Let's see how it finishes out here. See if anybody drops a spot.
'Cause I feel like there's not a rule on that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. The thing, Paul could catch Twisted, I believe. Potentially, is that the...
They are on the lead lap, but 18 seconds separating the two of them.
So, I mean, I don't know, obviously, pitting situations if Twisted's been in or not yet. I assume he has.
Twisted pitted on lap 90, Paul Irvin lap 91, and Paul Irvin is disgustingly faster than Twisted. Even though Twisted's blinking out like crazy. Almost 2 seconds faster between the two of them.
Well, there's enough laps left that he can certainly catch him.
It's gonna be close.
Which would, I mean, and obviously they're gonna even out a bit if Twisted doesn't just full-heartedly die. I just saw him disappear for half a straightaway.
See the battle between Orlowski and Darnell.
That's a big battle there. Joe loses that spot. He loses the hard charger.
Oh, and he is loose. Oh, I thought Paul Irvin would know where to go, and late reaction time was going to get into the back of the 12, and that's going to hurt him trying to get to Twisted.
Yeah, that's definitely going to change up his run here, having to race around these guys. Granted, I mean, they're obviously lead lap cars running for their position, so their battle is a little more
priority.
Right. And Paul knows that. I mean, he would expect the same if it was him in that situation. Although I wouldn't blame him here if he feels he's being held up.
9 laps down to somebody who's on the lead lap. You're gonna move him.
I'm not saying move him, but I'm saying I would understand if he gave him a little shot of like, hey man, I got a position I can gain, championship implications here. Just because I'm 9 laps down this race, that point might mean something in 2 races. I definitely would not spin him. That'd be bad. That's a good.
And there's the 48 to the inside of Orlowski into turn number 1 and clear.
How'd your sticker go with the Jeep earlier? Problem, no problem?
Yeah. That gap is now down to 12 seconds with 4 laps to go. I don't think Paul's getting there.
No, I think he definitely was held up here getting around these two.
He needed more than that. I think there was even more of a Hail Mary. He needed Twisted to have some issues as well. As coming to 3 to go, Adam Capps crossing the line with an 8.5 second lead over Shane Wolf. Now let's just hope that number 2 makes weight.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Or you'll have ACAR say, hey, congratulations on the win. Don't bring this car back.
What was that, Jeff Gordon with the T-Rex car? Hell yeah, don't bring this back. We don't ever want to see this again.
Go popsicle sticks up in the air. Adam Caps is looking good and on his way to a playoff round 1, race 1 win. The Regeneration Sports Network 115 coming to a close. And out of 4 for the white flag in the air, brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Adam Caps flies down into turn number 1. He could set sail. He can probably run out of gas and still win this race.
I mean, it's quite possible. It would carry some speed for sure.
And through 3 and 4 for the final time this evening. And a very, very fast race here at Nashville Super Speedway. Adam Caps is going to claim victory in the Regeneration Sports Network 115.
What was your race time on that?
1 hour and 40 seconds.
That's a hell of a time, boys. Good job, everybody. I'll let them know it when I get a moment to talk with them. That's awesome.
That's from green flag to checkered.
In fact, AJ, I'm going to mute myself for a minute and let them know.
Run down the results real fast. Adam Caps, your race winner this evening. James Shanewolf in second. Third, Derek Stanley. Fourth, Lucas Strayer. In fifth, you have Brett Murphy. Nate Orlowski comes home in that 6th position. Joe Darnell in 7th. 8th, Michael Steele. 9th, Chris Sawyer. And in 10th, Matt Cochran. 11th, Alan Michael Bennett. 12th, it's Paul Irvin. And then Mitchell Muma, TJ doesn't count, will come home in that 13th position.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see a 71 and 13th.
I don't.
You better get your prescription checked.
Dude, my eyes haven't changed in years, dude. It's
That doesn't mean they're good, bud.
And I would love to talk to our race podium drivers, but none of them are in the Discord.
We know you got the... Well, there's one of them.
Yeah, we talked to him last. Well, you talked to him last, because I need to pop a cough drop or something, because I'm about to cough my head off.
If we don't get anybody else up here, I'm going to just take him first. I don't see anybody else popping into the waiting room. Hell with it. Give me Adam. Where you at, dog? Let's... Phenomenal.
It's like you don't know how to drag people.
I know how to drag people. Adam Caps, you got a copy?
I got you.
Brother, like, take it easy on him. Good Lord. Just dominated the hell out of that race.
Oh no, Shane Wolf was fast. I think the only reason he wasn't up there is because he got caught up behind some cars on the first pit stop and let me get away. Or he'd have been right there. He just got caught up. I don't know what happened to him.
I mean, I don't think there's much other that we can say about a 9.3 second lead at the end of that race. That is one hell of a job done, sir. Way to open the playoff.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think, again, it wouldn't have been that far. I think he took 2 on the final stop, and it kind of cost him there.
I believe he did, trying to get out ahead of you, and you were just already that far ahead.
Yeah, it definitely played. I was like, did he take it 2? I was like, look at that. All right, that works.
Your teammate Matthew, I think, was trying to not pit at all or something. It was crazy.
I didn't have any push to talk map because I just don't map it because sometimes I let my temper get the best of me. So they were like asking me questions. I'm like, I don't have push to talk, fellas.
You know, I think Paul did say that too. I think Paul was like, I don't think he's got push to talk.
No,
I can hear that stuff. AJ can. I can hear all that fun conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's best for me to not have it on.
You know, I feel you there. I mean, I definitely have seen some moments where it bit you.
It does. It does. That's why I'm like, unmap that so I don't have to worry about it.
But I mean, this is some serious playoff momentum. We head to Kentucky next week. I have no idea, like, this place is any of this can translate there. I know there's similar.
I think Kentucky will be a little more loose. You drive off to the right rear a little more there than you will here. This was very tight.
I
Burned
can
the right front
confirm,
off.
and the laps that I ran, I was not having fun.
Yeah, it was super, super tight. I mean, if you watch, it was almost touching the left on the apron just to get it to turn.
That
Like
was.
it was
I was
real
like,
tight.
I was like, I wish I could be loose. This is just mean.
Yeah, and
This
I even
was
got
just
down
mean.
my bias down to 53, and it wasn't enough.
That's wild. But I mean, good job. Sponsors, plug them. Do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, thanks to Nifty Lift and John Headland over there for sponsoring us. Elite Entertainment, Easler Electric, and Transcendent Designs with James and Drew painting the trucks for us, and you guys up in the booth.
I mean, if you do what you did here next week, I know I'll be talking with you again in some capacity.
Hopefully we'll get where we can run up front. I hate we had such a low car count. I'm not sure why everybody didn't show up. Maybe because it was the playoffs or whatnot. But hopefully,
I'm just wondering if people forgot, because I was shocked. I mean, that's why I got in the car. I'm like, I'm gonna put another set of wheels in this thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of happy Rambler didn't show up.
I mean, you know, don't mention the devil. They may appear.
Right? I'm kind of happy. I was like, hey,
If he shows up to Kentucky next week, you guys might be in trouble.
Rambler, right? Dakota. I mean, those guys have been quick. They'll be out there stealing points away from you.
Yeah, for sure. That's tough for us, but I know we need the car count, so it is what it is.
And if they run next year, it'll make for some very good battles, I have a feeling.
Right.
But, sir, hell of a job. I don't know if you want to say anything else before Kentucky, go for it. Otherwise, we'll get you out of here.
No, I'm good. Good race. Glad we went green. Proud of everybody for driving clean and keeping it green. Makes it easy. I know it's boring for the guys not in the front, but it makes it quick for us to get in and out and go do something else. Go play some Call of Duty.
Heard that.
Maybe not Call of Duty. I have to test some of my my new hardware out.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam. Have a good night.
All right, see you guys.
All right, TJ, here you go. The driver that finished second, it's James Shane Wolf. Take it away, TJ.
Mr. Shane Wolf, you got a copy?
I got y'all, man. Y'all got me?
Oh, we got you. Dude, did the two tires, were you thinking you were going to get more out of that?
Hell, man, I don't know. I'd have to do something.
I mean, that's
Honestly,
what I told AJ. I'm like, if somebody's going to scheme
it,
if somebody's going to be scheming, it's him. I've seen him do it.
I short pit there and undercut it, and then Adam pit too. So that killed that. And then I was like, well, damn, I got to try something else. So I tried that, and yeah, it went as well as I thought.
He was thinking, because you guys were real close there early, he was thinking you must have got hung up behind some traffic or something, and that's where the gap kind of formed, because he's like, I'm surprised we were pretty close in speed and practice and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was consistent. My speed stayed about the same all race, honestly. Like from run to run, you know, my fall off was pretty consistent, and so I don't know. He came on strong there towards the end.
I assume you experienced the tightness that I know I did, and Adam said he had.
Yeah, it was honestly, the two tires felt great. It just wasn't fast. Like if the speed was there with the way that truck was driving after the two tires, that thing would have been a rocket ship. But the speed wasn't there, so it didn't matter. You know, it's not hard to make something drive good when it's driving slow. You know, so. Right.
I think this is the first time I've ever turned a lap here, and honestly, I still don't know the line, and I don't remember what lap I just said I'm done with. But
yeah,
this place was weird.
It's an easy place to overdrive. You really got to underdrive it. It's such a big track, and it feels like such a big track because it's really not a big track. And then all the speed that you feel like you're carrying because you come up on the corner so fast, and it feels like a Kentucky where you can kind of just sail it off in there and be fine, but you can't. You got to woe it up.
Yeah, I mentioned to AJ, it's like it feels like a really big Iowa.
Yeah,
Iowa, you can dive it in there, but if you're not careful, you end up in the fence on exit.
Yep, exactly.
But I mean, good momentum, second place, good points day. Heading towards Kentucky next week, and the big one after that, Dega.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Just keep on clicking off consistent finishes. It's playoff time now, so as long as we can keep the DNFs from happening,
or disconnects in the case of your teammate Paul.
Well, I was having internet issues tonight as well. I wasn't able to be in a Discord call while racing. It would kick me out of iRacing, so I had to run in silence tonight. So
to hell with Discord at that point for sure.
Yep, that was rough.
I'm all alone.
Wasn't able to hardwire. Here. Yeah, it was rough. I couldn't hardwire, so I was running on wireless connection. And about midway through the race, I seen my quality start peaking yellow. I know I went to go around Michael Steele there, and I don't think we touched, but I got a 4X. So if we did touch, I apologize to Michael. I think I blipped out right there, and then it gave it to me. So lost that bonus point, but that's all right, man. It happens. But yeah, now excited to move on to next week and see what we can do.
Well, I'm anxiously awaiting because you guys, I think this is like 3 races in a row. We've been really clean, really quick races overall as a total time, and you guys keep putting on these great shows, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the strategy of these long green flag races. When you have cautions, there's still strategy involved, and there's definitely field strategy involved when you have cautions. But when you go green like this, man, it comes down to the driver and the driver's ability to be able to save fuel, save tire throughout the entire run. And I enjoy that a lot more than, okay, we're under caution, turn the truck off and coast as long as possible. Like the strategy aspect of long green flag runs are a lot more fun to me personally. So I enjoy it. And shout out to everybody for keeping it clean tonight, man. I know it was a lower car count, and hopefully next week will be better. But either way, green flag runs are still green flag runs, whether you have 5 cars or 50 cars. It's still just as hard to be fast throughout the whole thing. So
see, AJ, I told you, he's a schemer. You got to watch this guy.
I try not to think what's going on in his head because it hurts my brain.
Hell, dude, you don't want to know what's going through my head half the time.
James, if you got anybody you want to plug them, my friend.
Yes, shout out to Alex and Alex Save You Time there in South Hill. If you ever going through Virginia for any reason on Interstate 85, it is exit 12B, the only Exxon station in South Hill. So you'll see it right off the interstate there. So make sure you stop in there, go see Alex. Shout out to Adam Capps, great job tonight. Did a hell of a job on the box, blocking me from being able to undercut him, stuff like that. So it's great strategy on his part. Brian Easler at Easler Electric, John at Nifty Lift, Drew at Transcended Designs, and Joe was mad at me a couple weeks ago because I forgot to give him a shout out. But shout out to Joe Darnell and Darnell Racing for bringing me into the league, man, and getting me in here running for him, as well as everybody that watches, cheers me on, and you guys for doing the broadcast and all the behind the scenes work. It wouldn't happen without you guys, so we appreciate y'all for that.
There's so much stuff to do after the race.
There is, man.
Well, not when they keep them clean like this.
Yeah, also true.
Bubba, you want to say hi to everybody? Hi. There you go.
Hi. Love it. Love it.
All right, James, thanks for coming and talking with us, pal. Congratulations on the P2 finish. We'll see you next week at Kentucky.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go beat the hell out of the kids, take it out on them why I didn't win. So we'll see y'all.
I don't know if we could say that.
I mean, he just did.
Well, this race just got demonetized.
Within reason. Within reason. We're gonna practice some wrestling moves on him. You know, suplex him on the bed or something.
Watch out for the pile driver. I hear that can paralyze people.
Hey, I mean, tsunamis have been known to break ankles.
Oh. All right, see you later,
man.
James.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, TJ. Well, thank you for coming talking with us, having some fun up in the broadcast booth. Another great race. It seems like we're pulling Sheamuses every week, banger after banger after banger, and I'm very proud of these guys on Monday nights. It's been a lot of fun calling these races. But yeah, Kentucky next week for race number 2 of 3 in the round 1 of the ACAR Frey Trucking Series playoffs.
That cutoff line's going to be tight next week.
Yes, it is. And everybody's enjoy. Thank you, Regeneration Sports Network, for sponsoring today's race. We have partnered with them. Rob Niedermeyer, good friend of ours, good friend of the channel, and good friend of the Nerds podcasts, is going to put out a post every Thursday recapping the week that was on All-Star 15 TV. So, Rob, thanks for that. Thank you to have you guys aboard, and go check them out. Their links are in the chat, and then will be in the description in future races. So, peace out, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button, subscribe, and take care.
Yeet!